everyone, it's Nicole, and today I'm bringing you the Reading Rush Day 2 video challenge. Today is the second day of the Reading Rush, formerly known as the Booktubeathon, and today's video challenge is called Two Truths and a Big Little Lie. Now for this challenge, you have to pick 3 books off of your shelf. 2 you have read and 1 you have not. And then you talk about these books and convince the viewers that you have read each of these books. And then in the comments, it's up to you to decide which book I've lied about. So I'm just going to jump right in and get started. The first book that I'm going to talk about is called The Age of Miracles by Karen Thompson Walker. This is a YA science fiction dystopian novel. I picked it up for my In Real Life book club a couple of years ago, and I just thought the concept of this book was brilliant. So our main protagonist in this story, her name is Julia. So Julia and her family are going about their business, living their everyday life, when one random day, Julia and her family and the rest of the world come to realize that the rotation of the earth is suddenly beginning to slow down. And this affects lengths of the day and night. This affects gravitational pull. A lot of things that are thrown off by the earth slowing down. This is truly a coming-of-age story where in the midst of this catastrophe that's going on, there's still everyday life you have to deal with. Losing of friends and families, going to high school, all the ups and downs that go along with it. And so Karen Thompson Walker tells this really beautiful story, but also in the middle of a very scientific upheaval. So I just thought that was really amazing. I did end up giving this book 5 out of 5 stars, and the rest of my book club did enjoy it as well. The next book that I'm going to talk about is called Poison Princess by Kresley Cole. This is book number 1 in the Arcana Chronicles. I picked this book up because I love Kresley Cole's Immortals After Dark series. That is her adult paranormal romance series. This is a YA paranormal fantasy series. And in the Immortals After Dark, you get the typical paranormal aspect. Vampires, werewolves, fae, you get all that and then some. In this series, what I really thought was original and why I picked it up in the first place was it delved into a little bit of mythology that I wasn't very knowledgeable of. The concept of this book is that each character of a deck of tarot cards is actually real and they exist. And our main protagonist, Evangeline, or Evie as her friends call her, she gets swept into this world when she starts having hallucinations that turn out to be visions of the future. So just as one would, Evie is freaking out. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't really trust anyone. No one believes her about these hallucinations that she's having. So she's desperate to find some answers. And then comes the male protagonist. His name is Jackson. He's your typical bad boy. He's from the wrong side of the tracks, but he seems to know a little more than he's letting on. They develop a rocky relationship where she doesn't really trust him, but he's the only one that believes her. And he's agreed to protect her on this quest that they are going on to find answers. So really great. I love the mythology, something that I wasn't really knowledgeable about, and just diving into a different kind of world. I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. This is the first book in the series, and so it does continue on, and overall, it's a really great series. The next book that I'm going to talk about is called Geisha A Life by Minako Awasaki. I think that's how you say her name. I'm probably butchering it, so sorry. But I picked up this book because I found out about it after I read Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. And then after doing some research, I found out that this book was actually written by the geisha that Arthur Golden interviewed for material for his book Memoirs of a Geisha. Diving a little bit into the history, you find out that Minako did not really enjoy how Arthur Golden portrayed the geisha life in his adaptation, so she decided to write a book of her own along with a translator, Rand Brown. He translated Japanese to English. It's basically her memoir. She tells us what it was really like to be a geisha and what that sort of life entails and how it starts, what your everyday life is, and kind of sheds a new light on the geisha lifestyle. And while I did really enjoy this book just because I don't really know a lot about geisha and that kind of culture, it wasn't as whimsical as Memoirs of a Geisha was, but I did like that we got truth in this book as opposed to Arthur Golden's book. And this is nonfiction. I don't typically reach for nonfiction, but I really did enjoy this book, learned a lot, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Alrighty, that is it for this video. Can you guess which book I lied about? Comment below and let me know what your guess is. Go ahead and like my video if you did. You can follow me on all the social media platforms. The links will be in the description box below. I hope you're having a wonderful reading rush so far. And if you made a video for today's challenge, let me know in the comments because I want to watch it. I'll see you next time, avid readers.